team like this, who's running the ball very well, and their offense is obviously able to move the ball and put points on the board. So we have to do our jobs extremely well. And whether you're at home or on the road, I think the responsibilities in regards to winning are similar.
I got a follow-up. I know you were really tight with Amy Palcic, and she's not here anymore. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can tell from the universal response from prominent people in the business what type of person Amy is and how well respected and well liked that she is, both inside of our building and outside the building. Extremely professional, just really good at her job, cared a lot, just wants what's best for the team and what's best for the organization, always trying to do what's best, and was a massive helping hand with me during the hurricane, during my entire time here. So I think it's a very difficult loss, and she's an incredible person, and I think she's going to have another job in an absolute heartbeat. So I think it's a big loss for us.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, JJ, when you look at what it takes to rush the passer, how much respect do you have for a guy like Myles Garrett as one of the other guys in this game like yourself that is good at getting after the quarterback?
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's obviously having a great year so far. Hopefully he doesn't have a good game on Sunday. That's the goal for us, obviously. But guy's a hell of a player. He's got speed. He's got quickness. He can power. So he's got all the tools you need, and he's obviously playing at an extremely high level. So I think he's doing a great job.
JJ, are you seeing any difference? We were talking a little bit on Sunday. You brought up the holding, the way it's being called this year. Is there any difference in officiating in terms of what you think might be the emphasis or what's going on with that, or the explanation from them?
I haven't gotten an explanation, but I don't think it's any secret. I mean, you just look at the statistics alone. Offensive holding calls are massively down across the league. So there's clearly been a point of emphasis to de-emphasize those, and I think that players are noticing that as well. But I mean, you got to play the game regardless of how they call it. I mean, you can't. Yes, would I prefer to have them called? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I got to play the way the game's being played, and you hope they get those. But I mean, like the one we talked about on Sunday. I mean, you go back and watch the film. It's right there for you.
Cody Davis.
Hey, JJ, hope all is well, man. What challenges do you kind of foresee when you go up against the Cleveland Browns with their two running back system with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, they're very good players. Obviously, they have a lot of success running the ball. Those guys are very good backs. The offensive line does a good job blocking for them. They have Baker, who obviously can throw the ball and play action off of what they do in the running game. So they're very effective, and that's up to us up front. First and foremost, as the front line of defense, to do our job, to set the edges, to build the wall in the middle. The backers, obviously, to come up and make tackles, and everybody doing their job to try and do whatever we can to be successful on Sunday.
John.
JJ, when you're going up against Baker Mayfield, in your game, the Texans played in 18. He threw three receptions in the first half, and then in the second half, he threw for almost 350 yards. When you watch him, how much better is he than he was with a rookie, and what do you see specifically this year that impresses you?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's playing good football. I think he's a guy who can make the throws. He can also move around. He's effective in scramble situations. He can improvise very well. He can run for first downs if he has to, but he also can stay in the pocket, find the open man, deliver the ball. He's got the arm to make all the throws. So I think he's doing a good job. He's settling in, and I think he's playing well.
Aaron Wilson.
JJ, when you look at the way you are now in terms of the way you set up your moves, the things you're able to do with the knowledge you have of the game, how much different are you at this stage of your career, not in terms of physical skill, but the mental aspect of the game in terms of what the book you have on these blockers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have more experience and more knowledge and film over the years, and you set things up different ways. I think that, there's a lot of things that go into it, and one of the things that helps you set up moves is to have more opportunities. And obviously, when you have a lead in the game and you have a chance to get after the passer more often, you get a chance to set up your moves more. You can't get double teamed and triple teamed as much when they got to get guys out in the routes, all those types of things. So there's all sorts of things that go into, a super successful pass rush. But at the end of the day, you deal with the circumstances you're given. And if there's double teams and triple teams or whatever it may be early in the game, you got to find a way to get there. I'm no stranger to those either. And I've had those before in my career. So you find ways to fight through and get through. And, but it's an art and it's fun. And that's what's enjoyable about it is it's a bit of a chess match combined with a bit of a wrestling match combined with a speed and strength competition. There's a little bit of everything when it comes to rushing the passer, and it's fun when you get the opportunity to get into it like that.
JJ, what do you think of their offensive line? They've been trying to make some investments there, stockpile some guys for a little bit now. What do you think of those guys?
Yeah, obviously it shows in their running game. The running backs are obviously great players, but they have an offensive line that's doing a good job providing holes for them, giving Baker time to throw the ball. So I think they're doing a good job. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Greg Bailey.
Hey, JJ, I apologize, man. I had a little trouble getting on. Have you talked at all about your touchdown catch in Cleveland?
I have not, no.
What do you remember about that? As I look back at it, number one, it was one heck of a catch. What do you remember about how the play was designed and how all that kind of unfolded?
You're using a news anchor voice, Greg. It is very effective.
I'm trying to project on the Zoom. I'm sorry.
It was a good throw. Mallett put the ball in the only place that I could catch it. It was either going to be I caught it or it went out of bounds. I remember catching the ball and dropping a knee down to try and get it in bounds. And obviously looking up at the ref and waiting for him to signal touchdown, it was great. But the thing I remember most about that game was my 2 roughing the punter penalties. And I knew that I had to do something big in that game to help sway the game in our favor because I took 2 4th down stops away from our team. I thought for sure I was going to block each of those punts. I had to be like an inch away. But so the strip sack and the touchdown were kind of my way to pay back the team for 2 roughing the punter penalties.
If I could follow up real quick, it looked like your teammates, like when you guys celebrated, your teammates got a huge charge out of that. What do you remember about that, and how cool is that to kind of share that with them? Yeah,
it was awesome. For the team to put that much trust in me, to put me out there on offense and to throw up a fade ball like that and give me the confidence to make the play, and then for me to be able to provide that play for the team and that boost of energy and to see how happy everybody got for me. It was a very cool experience and a lot of fun, and it was a great time. It was cool. You don't get that too many times as a defensive lineman.
Aaron Reese.
Hey, JJ, kind of building off the earlier question about strategy and approach, does your approach change at all as a defensive lineman when you're going up against an offense that likes to use play action as much as Cleveland does and the kind of way they do?
You just have to trust your keys. Obviously, number one goal is always stopping the run, and you want to stop the run. We've been more effective at times and other times this season doing that, so we really want to do that. But you also have to trust your keys and do your job and make sure that you're doing your job within the confines of the defense. Before, obviously, if you fly up the field and try and stop the play action, it makes a pretty big gap in the run game for you. So you got to be smart about what you're doing and calculated and when you take those risks.
Okay, we have time for 3 more. Adam Wexler.
JJ, you used some different combinations last week up front 7 out of need because of guys in and out. You'll do the same thing, I'm sure, again this week. And when you go back and look at last week's game, what have you seen from some of these other guys playing alongside and trying to work some of the things you want to do up front with?
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to do their best, obviously. Guys are fitting into positions they maybe haven't played as much at before. Guys are getting way more snaps than they've played ever before. So there's a lot of film to watch. There's a lot of learning to do. There's some good things. There's some things that need to improve. And I've always said the only way to improve at playing football is to play football. So getting reps in the game is beneficial. Getting reps in practice is beneficial, and just learn. But I think that there were some good things, and there are also some things that we can get better at. But obviously, you prefer to have continuity, and you prefer to have a group that's together and that's growing together so you can build that chemistry. But it's the NFL. It's got to be a next man up mentality, and whoever needs to step up, especially in a weird year like this, they have to step in and play well.
Cody Stutes.
JJ, when it comes to their offensive tackles, Conklin's obviously a guy that was previously in the division. Do you take some of the stuff that maybe you worked against him when he was on the Titans that now he's on the Browns, or is that primarily a Browns film study on him? And then with the rookie on the other side, how do you approach a rookie tackle maybe different from a veteran tackle?
Yeah, I mean, you watch the film from before, you watch the film from now, and you assess the similarities. You see what's different, what's changed. You see, you know yourself and what's changed between you in the past and where you are now. And you analyze the film like you analyze all offensive tackle film, which is to study each individual aspect of their game and see how you can apply it and take advantage of things and try and find your best path of success through, while understanding the strengths and weaknesses of your own game as well. So I do think there are things you can learn from the past, but I also think that, like I've said before, there are times where you've watched enough film, you've learned enough, you've written enough things down that you shut off the film and you say, okay, I got this. Now they have to stop me.
Last one for Brandon.
Hey, JJ, tell us about your new shoe and how all of that came about and what you're doing for the women's shelter.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. We have a his and her shoe. I've been trying to get a women's shoe made for a very long time, and I'm so happy and thankful that we finally got the opportunity to do it with Reebok. My wife helped me design the women's shoe. I have a lot of pride in my shoe designs, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the greatest women's shoe designer of all time. My wife had a lot of great input, and we actually designed these shoes based off of our wedding. The theme of our wedding was, we had navy and marble and cream and gold. So it was based off of that. And then the coolest part of it by far is that we're donating to the Mission of Yahweh Women's Shelter for every women's pair purchase. So the response has been unbelievable. I'm thankful to all the fans out there, both men and women, who have purchased and who are purchasing for their loved ones, and also at the same time doing a great deed by also providing a donation to the Mission of Yahweh, which my wife and I have visited and seen, and the place is incredible and very well run. So it's very special to me, and I'm thankful to Reebok for them always stepping up to the plate when it comes to these special things that we do with my shoes and donating to causes that are important.
Thanks, JJ.
Thank you, guys.